course. I am having technical difficulties, of course. We're still trying to get it. I can see myself. I can see you guys. We're trying to get it. We're trying to get it here. We're trying to. It's been 2 weeks, and for some reason, uh, laptop ain't working. You know what? We're here. I know you guys can see me. I can see myself via the iPhone. I apologize again. Usually happens when I go live for some reason. My producer is having a very special anniversary tonight. We'd like to wish them a very special anniversary. Yeah. This is the Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. I am your host, Amir Sharaz Ortiz. Forgive me for looking away here. Just trying to get everything situated for you guys. No, I'm here. I'm talking. My laptop is not showing. My laptop is frozen, and that's okay. It's okay. You know, I'm gonna look this way. I'm gonna look at my phone. I apologize for looking at my phone more often. I cannot see myself through the. So I have to do a live show, but it's okay. I can't get any of the slides up, but we already know what happened, right? We're here. We're in fall. I'm wearing my fall. I am right here. All right. Jeez, technology sometimes fails us, just like the rest of baseball failed us by allowing the Houston Astros to be the 2022 World Series champions. Uh, yes, breaking news: the Yankees did not go to the World Series. I appreciate everybody who has chimed in. Uh, Man, so what happened? 30 teams down to one, right? Houston Astros were the favorite coming out of American League. They were the betting favorite going into the season anyway. Second best. The Dodgers were the first. I guess I'll do a quick plug. Uh, the Dodgers did choke with 111 victories. This is the season in review per se. Well, not as much in review. We're just going to focus on what's happening. There's a lot happening right now. Baseball is one of those things that the season is over at midnight, free agency begins. And I'm going to go through all that here. It's going to be a little bit crazy. Bear with me. I got a lot of names. I got a lot of numbers. I got a lot of things. Before we can do that, we got to announce winners, right? We got to announce MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, managers, etc., etc., etc. And of course, before we do that, we do have to acknowledge these World Series champions. As much as I do not want to, as a fan, as a journalist, I will. Yeah, I think I can call myself a journalist, right? I do this every blue moon. I love what I do. They say if it's work, if you love what you're doing, it's never work. Right? That's what they say. So, Houston Astros again is the second World Series title. But let's just go back a little bit on how did it get here. And unfortunately, we do have to revisit that 2017 season. Not because that was their first title, but because that was the cheating scandal. Now, I'm not bringing it up to be hateful. I'm not. If you got a problem with that, go bang some drones or something. That's not on me. What I'm saying is 2017, AJ Hinch was the manager. It was a players-led cheating scandal. One thing, a lot of things you guys probably don't know of, but the players did get over easily. Carlos Beltran was one of the major factors. He lost his job before he even stepped foot in his team. Remember, he was named the manager of the Mets. Before he could manage one game, he was fired for his role in the cheating scandal. I'm not making this up. I'm not hating. I can care less for Houston per se as a team, not a city. Don't get mad. Talk about the team, people. Jeez, I can see your faces ringing through my computer. It's probably why my computer froze. I started with Houston, and the computer was fighting me, talking about, no, we don't want to do this. But we're winning. We're here. We're going to do this. So the Astros is a two-time champion. But the reason I go back to 2017 is because they got a guy after that, after the scandal was over with, after the suspension went through in 2020. It took that long. It took 2 seasons or 2 years, I say. It took 2 years to determine punishments. And the punishment for the Astros were they lost their first and second round pick, which we all know in baseball doesn't really mean much when you got like 26 rounds. But they got a guy by the name of Johnny B. Baker. Okay, now for those of you that's like, who? Johnny B. Baker is Dusty Baker. Okay, a little backstory on Dusty Baker. And if you're a true sports or baseball fanatic, a fan even, you kind of already know the story. You know, Johnny Baker got the name Dusty because he loved playing in the dirt. Now, it wasn't because he was playing in the dirt in baseball. It's because he loved playing in the dirt as a kid. So his name was Dusty growing up. He owned it. He showed up to play. And for the first time in his career as a manager, Johnny B. Dusty Baker has won the World Series. So I'm ecstatic for him. I'm ecstatic for his family, his lineage, what he has gone through. And I wasn't trying to jump so quickly but obviously this season could not have been done without Dusty Baker. So we have to give credit where credit is due. Kind of sidetrack here a little bit, but yes, Dusty Baker. The reason we're showing him side by side because he won the World Series as a Dodger in 1981. So that's a huge accomplishment. He's been to the World Series multiple times, but no need to apologize. My co-producer, my statistician, he's interning as a producer today. My statistician is interning as a producer today, so we're going to get this together. It might be another reason why I press live and it doesn't work, for the record. So now that we know, I need to stop pressing live. Now, this is a conversation I need to have off screen, but I'm having it on screen. So I'm just throwing it out there. It only freezes when I press live. Just want to throw that out there. But Johnny B. Baker, right? Johnny B. Good. Man, what this he's gone on to coach a myriad of teams. Finally has won a World Series, and I will not hate on that. Back to the World Series players at hand. Sure, let's talk about the World Series MVP. Again, we're talking about numbers, and I like to stick to facts. And here's a question I want to throw out to everybody. Question time. Hopefully you guys get the answer. Somebody get the answer for me. You already know it, obviously. Jeremy Pena is the second rookie to ever win the League Championship Series MVP and the World Series MVP. Second rookie in the history of baseball. Who was number one? So let's throw it out there. I'll get to that answer here in a little bit. Give me your replies. Chime in the comments. What do you think is the first ever rookie to win the League Championship Series MVP and the World Series MVP? Okay, if you're Googling, you're wrong. Just throwing it out there. All right. There's been like 6 or 7 rookie World Series MVPs, but only 2 have won both the League Championship and the World Series. Jeremy Pena happens to be number 2. It's crazy because coming into the season, the Astros was so concerned about losing Carlos Correa to Minnesota. Carlos Correa coming into the season has signed a 3-year, $99 million contract, something like that, with an opt-out clause, which he have used, which means he's going into free agency. We'll get to that here in a second. But they thought Jeremy Pena will not be able to fill the huge void that is shortstop for the Houston Astros. And he did that and much, much more. Props to Jeremy Pena. From the young guy, Jeremy Pena, let's talk about the old guy in the Astros. That's 39-year-old Justin Verlander, who, as you saw in the post-game presser, will have zero drama. If he wants to continue playing baseball, he's saying he's not following the footsteps of Tom Brady and Giselle. Again, we don't like drama here, so we're putting out positive vibes. All right. Now, with that being said, he immediately opted out of his $25 million contract and became a free agent. I thought he was going to opt in, play his last season, go about it, but no. I will get to the numbers of what he wants here in a minute when I go over the free agents or free agencies, I should say. But Justin Verlander leading the major leagues with a 1.75 ERA, 18-4 win-loss record. Man, he still has some gas in his tank, and he wants what he can get, as much as he can get, to take care of what he has. With names of Altuve, Jordan Alvarez, man, what a postseason. Everybody who's followed me on social media or texts me off camera or off social media knows how much I say walk Jordan Alvarez. I said that from day one in the playoffs. Walk Jordan Alvarez. And what did Jordan Alvarez do? His home run put away the Mariners. His home run put away the Yankees. His home run won the World Series. Why are you pitching to Jordan Alvarez? Here's another fun fact that you may not know. Jordan Alvarez was actually traded from the Dodgers to the Houston Astros. That I did not know until I started doing my research. So, the Dodgers could have had him, but they traded him for like a relief pitcher a couple years back or whatever, and Houston made him into the star that he is now. Alex Bregman, what a postseason he had. Now leading all third basemen in home runs in the postseason. And he's only been in the league like 5-6 years to show you his dominance since Houston. I guess a question for the masses, is this a dynasty? I always said it had to win multiple home World Series, which they did, 2017, 2022. I believe been a 4 World Series, maybe 5. Man, is this a dynasty? It has to be, right? At this point, obviously they don't win back-to-back or 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 like the Patriots have done or the Yankees did in the late 90s. But there's no I'm saying yes. I'm going to say yes. I'm not even going to wait for an answer. I'm going to say yes. Reason being, this team is still intact. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Everybody is signed through. Everybody is on paper, ready to play. They just have to figure out Justin Verlander. But everybody else is coming back. So, Kyle Tucker, Yuli Gurriel, Chas McCormick, all these guys stepped up. Martin Maldonado at catcher, Christian Vasquez, backup catcher DH after Yuli Gurriel went down. It didn't matter who they put in the lineup. They just hit. And to Houston Astros, as much as I hate to do it, cheers to you guys. I also had to do it because I was a little thirsty. So, half to the cheers to the Astros, half the cheers to me. But it's all good. Again, today's question is 2 rookies have won both the League Championship Series MVP and the World Series MVP. Jerry Pena just did that. But who was the first rookie in baseball history to pull that feat off? That's the question. So, that being said, we already went through the Astros, here's another thing that I guess I got to praise the Astros for, as much as I hate to do it. As a team, they led in 0 categories in hitting. 0. 0, 0, 0. They were not in first place in any hitting category. Just to show you what kind of solid team they had. They didn't get hot at the right time. They've been hot all season. 0, man. That's just insane to me. I give him praise. I hate it. Just like it's hard hating on the Patriots way back when. Seemed like so long ago, right? When the Patriots won a Super Bowl. Now they're just Patriots. Who else? Alabama just lost, right? We don't want to get to just talking about dynasties. You want to say it's a dynasty? I'm not trying to pull all sports. Alabama obviously is a dynasty, but it's Saban and then everybody else. I don't think there's dynasty in basketball because not every team makes it far enough every season in and season out. Maybe the Warriors, yeah. Golden State, yeah, I give it Golden State. Golden State, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, been to every single one of those championships, right? Four championship. That's a dynasty. So yeah, basketball. Hockey, Tampa Bay won back-to-back a couple years ago. Maybe that's a dynasty. Maybe. Well, not even a couple years. Yeah, they lost in the conference finals. They would have won 3 years in a row. Look at that. So maybe that's a dynasty in hockey, Tampa Bay. So Houston Astros, congrats, dynasty in baseball. I don't want to lose focus. We'll maybe discuss this, maybe briefly. Friday, All Sports Matter, a cheap plug. Let's not forget that. Let's go. And now I'm gonna do this in order. So, free agency already started, but I'm not gonna talk about free agency because that's probably gonna take a majority of my time. I'm gonna quickly go through the award finalists, and I want to go in order, starting with the Rookie of the Year. Reason being because on Monday, the Rookie of the Year will be announced. Tuesday is the Manager of the Year. Wednesday is Cy Young. Thursday is MVP. So let me bring up, if I can find them. There we go. No, that's Cy Young. They all look alike. No, that's MVP. Where's my producer at? Help me out here. I can't see. There we go. You're fired. Now, Rookie of the Year. These are your finalists. For those who don't know, let's start with the American League. We got Stephen Kwan. Who, by the way, now I need to write this down. I'm going to do a quick I told you so. Okay? I believe the first 2-3 weeks I started doing this show, I called on a rookie on the rise that everybody's gonna be talking about come the end of the season, and he was Stephen Kwan. I called him. I thought this kid was going to do something marvelous. He puts the bat on the ball. He doesn't strike out too much. He gets on base, and I saw it from the moment it started. So, before I get sidetracked, Stephen Kwan, Julio Rodriguez, and Adley Rutschman. If I mispronounced that, I'm going to ask for your apologies. I just mispronounced it. All right. And on the National League side, we got Brendan Donovan and those two guys from Atlanta. So let's go back to the American League. Well, let me talk about the other two guys before I talk about who I predicted to win and is going to win. Stephen Kwan, 298 batting average, 7 triples as a rookie, and 89 runs scored. You can put that hat all in my face all you want, but I'm not going to mention them quite yet, sir. Like my interns. You can't, what am I supposed to do with interns? Adley Rutschman, who didn't come up to the league till mid-season. They were trying to not rush him in. They saw that the Baltimore Orioles did battle for a playoff spot up until the last week of the season. They were close. And we haven't said that since 2012, 2011. Orioles playing for the playoff spot. So, and he didn't do much, batting 254, but he did get 35 doubles as a rookie who only played half the season. So let's keep that in mind. And I'm going to say my prediction, and the third player to me, Julio Rodriguez, obviously, hands down. Might even be in an MVP discussion. Obviously he's going to be top 10, but he's not top 3 in MVP. But I believe he will win the American League Rookie of the Year, batting .284, 28 home runs, 75 RBIs. He had a season for the ages as a rookie. He almost single-handedly brought the Mariners to the playoffs, who lost in the lost in the second round to the Houston Astros in their journey. Just let's think back a few weeks ago, game 1 of the division series, Houston versus Seattle, and they were up by like 7 runs, something like that. The Mariners were, and they turned around and played 18 innings for one, and it scored like 9 runs to tie the game, something like that, or they scored 8 runs to tie the game, 9 runs to win. Imagine if they didn't. Imagine Seattle winning the first game. That changes the trajectory of how the playoffs, run about. A what if. Okay, a what if. National League, Brendan Donovan, Cardinals, a utility player, played multiple positions, batted .281, had a .394 on-base percentage. I will say that the rookie class for the National League wasn't as strong. It wasn't, but these two, for me, did stand out, and they do play for the same team. That team in Marietta. Oh, it's not even Atlanta. It's like outside of Atlanta. But whatever. They're not even Atlanta Braves. I've been there multiple times, and they do not play in Atlanta. Truist Park is not in Atlanta. Just want to throw that out there. Not hating. We stick to the facts here in this show, and those are facts. Michael A. Harris, batted .297, 19 home runs and 20 stolen bases, 1 home run away from the 2020 club. And Spencer Strider, 2.67 ERA, 11.5 record, 202 strikeouts. I believe Spencer Strider wins the National League Rookie of the Year, excuse me. I believe. Is there? I got to look that up. A whole song that says Truist Park is not Atlanta. Never heard it, but I believe it. I believe it, because it ain't. It ain't. So, again, it's my prediction. Julio Rodriguez, American League. Spencer Strider in the National League. Let's go to what's happening on Tuesday. And Tuesday is the Manager's Day. Managers. Bring them up. There we go. The finalists. American League, Terry Francona of the Cleveland Guardians. I'm still not used to saying that. I'm sorry. I'm not. Brandon Hyde of the Orioles, and I'm not going to lie to you. I just found out that Brandon Hyde was the manager this whole time. I had no idea who manages the Orioles. I'm only sticking to the facts, and the fact is I never knew who the Orioles manager is. Now, to caveat on that, I actually don't even know who Brandon Hyde is. I don't know nothing about him. I will look him up, though. Maybe not tonight, but eventually. But he did a great job. I'm not knocking him. I'm not saying he's a nobody. I'm just saying I don't know who he is, and he did an outstanding job with the talent there in Baltimore. Very young team. And they gave up a few players in the trade deadline and still competed until the last week of the season. I don't think that's enough to win the American League Manager of the Year, but very deservedly a finalist, which he is. And the third manager, Scott Servais, which we all know used to be a former catcher of the Astros. Just want to bring that out there. He used to catch way back when. Guardians finished 92-70. Terry Francona is just a managing man. I was going to say a managing god, as I just got done watching wrestling not too long ago. But what can't Terry Francona do? From bringing the Phillies to the World Series in 2009 to bringing the Red Sox to the World Series in whatever those years were, blah, blah, blah. And now the Guardians. My favorite, I have Terry Francona winning at 92-70. Congratulations on that. On the National League side, we got Dave Roberts, Dodgers. Finished with a 111, 51 record, the best record in baseball. Buck Showalter, who was previously the manager of the Orioles. Just want to throw that out there for some reason. I knew he wasn't a manager, but in my mind I thought he was, which I know he wasn't. Okay, I know he wasn't. Don't get mad at me. Mets finished with a 101 win, 61 loss. Finished with the wild card because they finished with the same record tied as the Atlanta Braves and Brian Snitker. Same record, but Snitker, they won with the head-to-head there when they swept them the second to last weekend of the year. As much as I hate to say it, and I hate to say it, Dave Roberts will win, but I don't think he should. But obviously this is regular season record, not playoff record, because they darn sure didn't do a good job in the playoffs. So I got Dave Roberts, Terry Francona, two veterans. And I just want to throw this out there. I can coach the LA Dodgers with that lineup. Just want to throw that out there. If Jeff Saturday can get a job, not having any experience, why can't I? Just throwing it out there, not mad. Just saying, I can put a lineup card together. Jeff Saturday can't call plays. So who's better? All right, who's better? Now, Wednesday, we have the Cy Young race, or the Cy Young finalists, Cy Young winners. And here are your finalists. I try to make sure I put the names on there to match the face. Sure, let's start with American League. Dylan Cease, White Sox, finished with a 14-8 record, 2.20 ERA, 227 strikeouts. In theory, that's a great season. Here's something you guys may not know. For 14 straight starts, Dylan Cease never gave up more than one run in a game. Crazy. And they still didn't make the playoffs. They barely sniffed the Guardians. Disappointing in that, disappointing in the White Sox. And it's probably why they're probably going to look for a new manager after Tony La Russa is out. I don't know if the interim manager, they didn't make him permanent yet. So we'll see how that goes. Alek Manoah, the Blue Jays. Good kid. He got some good stuff. 16-7, 2.24 ERA. He was 4-0 in September. Was a big case in having the Blue Jays win the wild card. You knew every fifth day you at least got a victory. So that was huge for the Blue Jays, huge for Alek Manoah. But hands down, the Cy Young, which this will be his third, and I'm going to say it now, I'm going to coronate Justin Verlander, 39-year-old Justin Verlander. 39-year-old Justin Verlander, who just got off of Tommy John surgery last year, was supposed to be nothing more than a reliever this year. 1.75 ERA, 18 wins, led the majors, 4 losses, 185 strikeouts. Again, already a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Man, Justin Verlander, what can you say? I will tip my cap to him, but I didn't really do my hair, so I'm going to do this real quickly. See how that works? Good job. See, I tipped my cap to you. Took it off. Now let's move on. In the National League side, you got Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins. If he would have pitched in any other team, he probably would have been a 20-game winner. Quite possibly the best pitcher in baseball, in my opinion. But he's like where Randy Johnson was when he went to the Diamondbacks. When he finished 13-13, still won a Cy Young winner that year. It was only pitched like 1 run a game, but they never won. Like when DeGrom won the National League Cy Young, and he finished 15-13, something like that, because the Mets refused to score for him. Sandy Alcantara is the same thing. Led the major leagues in 6 complete games. Finished 14-9, 2.28 ERA. Max Fried of the Braves somehow snuck into this. I don't think he deserved to be a finalist, This I'm definitely not, because I would rather have given it to Kyle Wright of Atlanta. So I'm not hating. I'm just saying he just picked the wrong Brave in this regards. But 14-7, 2.48 ERA, 170 strikeouts. I know he missed a lot of time for injury. I get that. We get that. I don't think the baseball writers got that. Kyle Wright should have been a finalist and the winner of this year's National League Cy Young. Again, this is just my opinion, but usually I am never wrong. It's Julio Arias of the LA Dodgers, 17-7, 2.16 ERA, 166 strikeouts. He came in second last year, and the Cy Young, I believe he wins it this year. Julio Arias of the Dodgers. I'm just marking him off for my pleasure here. So Verlander, Julio Arias is your. Sandy Alcantara is definitely a sneaky. But I just think playing with the Marlins is going to hurt him this year. That's just my opinion. Not wrong. I would like either one of those to win. I definitely don't think Max Fried deserves that. So I already, cheers to Justin Verlander. The National League is a little bit up for grabs. We'll see how that goes. But I know for a fact that ain't Max Fried. Just go throw that out there. It's one or the other. So next Thursday, November 17th, is the big day for who is your MVP. Now, before I get to the American League, because it's going to be a perfect segue, because our producer doesn't know how to segue too much yet, and he's out today. This is anniversary, by the way. Happy anniversary. He doesn't do segues too well. He's working on it, though. Let's start the National League. I will start Manny Machado. And where am I at? Yeah, 32 home runs, 102 RBIs, 0.298 average. It's not ERA, sorry. He's never won MVP. Now, all three of these guys never won an MVP. So this will be the first time for somebody. And then it's the two Cardinals. We have Nolan Arenado with 30 home runs, 103 RBIs, 293 batting average. He just won his 10th Gold Glove to add to everything else. Again, he's never won MVP. And here is my MVP for the National League, Paul Goldschmidt. If it wasn't for the year that Kyle Schwarber had, he probably would have won the Triple Crown, or at least had a better shot at it. 317 batting average, 35 home runs, 115 RBIs. He's been a two-time runner-up, but sir, I think you finally got yours. Nobody wants to be a three-time runner-up. You can't be the Buffalo Bills of baseball. But I believe you will be the National League MVP for 2022. My favorite, he got me through the baseball fantasy playoffs. It's a thing. I didn't win it, but he got me to the playoffs. I appreciate that. Paul Goldschmidt, I believe, will win that. Let's go to the American League. And this is crazy. All three of these guys are MVP worthy. All three of these guys will get first place votes for different reasons. I will start with who's going to come in third. And this is crazy to me. Jordan Alvarez will come in third. Notwithstanding what he did in the postseason, that doesn't really count. But why is anybody pitching to this guy? 306 batting average, 37 home runs, 97 RBIs, 1.019 OPS, only two in baseball has an on-base percentage of over 1,000. And two of them is here as MVP candidates. Why does anybody pitch Jordan Alvarez? I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Why are you pitching to Jordan Alvarez? I need to get that on a t-shirt. The runner-up will be the unicorn, Shohei Ohtani. He is the reigning MVP, for those of you who don't know that. 34 home runs, 95 RBIs. He also finished with a 15-9 pitching record, 2.33 ERA, and struck out 219. And if Aaron doesn't have the season he had, Shohei Ohtani back-to-back MVP. But Aaron Judge did have the season he did. He kind of faltered towards the end a little bit. That getting those last 2 home runs really kicked his butt and really hurt his chances of winning the Triple Crown. For those who don't know, the batting average was won by Luis Arias from Minnesota Twins. Excuse me. And outside of a 62 home runs, AL record, 131 RBIs, and he batted .311. Second, what more can we say about Aaron Judge? I can sit here and tell you that he deserves to get paid, but I saved it because here's my segue. Thank you, my intern. He's with me. See how that works? I had it set up perfectly. Who is going to pay Aaron Judge? Now, that brings to a perfect segue because we're going into, let me talk about these free agents. I'm not going to talk about all of them because all in all is over 160 free agents. 160 free agents. Majority is bullpen, but it's almost divided almost exactly even between hitters and pitchers. 82 hitters, 81 pitchers are hitting free agency this year. Now, there's a caveat to that. A lot of them have options. They can opt back in, so that'll take them off the free agent market. They can opt out. That'll put them in the free agent market. Okay? But potentially, there are 163 free agents. Not about to head to free agency. We're already in free agency. Last pitch was thrown. Midnight free agency hit. The Mets already paid Edwin Diaz 5 years, $102 million. That's the only known free agent, or notable, I should say not known, notable free agent signing so far. They kept him there. There was no trickle effect because everybody's waiting on who is going to pay Aaron Judge. With that being said, he is projected for a 9-year, $324 million contract. I don't have time for you to do the math. I did it for you. $36 million a season. Okay? So, it's not the highest because Mike Trout contract is absurd. Not a lot. Some has him tapped into potentially getting a $400 million contract. I don't see that. That I don't see. Because to tie that, you have to give him 12 to 13 years. And him being 28, I believe 28, 29, my statistician helped me on that one. How old is Aaron Judge? I believe it's 28, 29, somewhere around there. You're not going to give a 28, 29-year-old a 13-year contract like they did Francisco Lindor or Fernando Tatis. Those contracts is not going to happen. So I don't see him getting $400 million. Okay? I do not see him getting $400 million. But where does he go? 30. Yeah, he's definitely not getting a 13-year contract. He's not. So 9 years is where the experts have it based upon age. Is he worth it? Of course. Will he get it? Of course. If I am a owner GM, will I give it to him? As my friend Lee Corso will say, not so fast. You saw the struggles. You saw what he went through in the postseason. As great as he is, the money could be used else. You might not be able to build a foundation around him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So if you got some more money to spend, maybe, but it's going to be hard to build something around Aaron Judge if you're already cash strapped. That's what I'm saying. So can he be a Yankee for life? Of course he can. Will he take a discount? I think he will to a certain extent. But right now, the San Francisco Giants are the favorites at landing Aaron Judge, mainly because that's home. And they're willing to give him that $400 million contract that he wants. He may not win, but that's the contract they're willing to give him. So, the free agent market has opened. Sorry, I had to jump the gun a little bit. The second highest rated prospect is Trey Turner. He won't re-sign with the Dodgers, according because the contract that he's about to get is close to 8 years, $272 million, $34 million a year. He saw what Corey Seager got with $325. Lindor got with New York $341. So Trey Turner said, why not me? Why not me? And that's crazy. 341, 324. Again, these contracts are 10 plus years. 10 plus years for these contracts. Do teams do it? Trey Turner's a little younger than Judge, obviously, but it's crazy because the next 4 guys I'm going to spew off are all shortstops. So which team needs a shortstop? Which team needs leadoff hitters? Which team? Rumors did come out today that Trey Turner does want to go to Philly. The issue with that is the Philly has the 4th highest projected salary spent wise, so they might not have the money for him or the contract that he wants. So that's it. That's going to be a hiccup. Since we're on that subject, perfect segue to what Fleck just chimed in on. The top salaries already spent now. Mets, Braves, Dodgers, Phillies, Astros. Those are your top 5. Most money spent, okay? I feel like I got something in my eye. Followed by the Yankees, Rockies, Padres, Angels, White Sox. Those are the top 10 in money spent. For those of you that don't know, there is no salary cap in baseball. For those of you wondering about that, there's no hard cap. There's a number, and if you pass that, MLB hits you with a luxury tax. So you pay twice as much for whatever reason, whatever it is. So can they spend? Yes. Can these teams spend? Yes. Will they? Is the question. And I'm just going to throw these out there. Trey Turner, Carlos Correa, Xander Bogaerts, Dansby Swanson are your next 4 highest rated players with shortstops. They're all shortstops, coincidentally, right? Carlos Correa is projected to get 8 years, $265 million. That equates to $33 million per year, some change. Xander Bogaerts, 6 years, $168 million, $28 million a year. The Red Sox are willing to spend that as of today. He's not off the board yet, but he's willing to take a discount to stay in Boston. Boston is also looking to re-sign Rafael Devers. So that's going to be interesting moving forward. Do they re-sign Devers? Do they re-sign Bogaerts? Martinez opts in, Chris Sale opts in. They just gave that money to Trevor Story last year. So that balloons up. James Paxton just opted in. So the Red Sox are spending a lot of money to be mediocre. And that's not hate. Just telling you. Who we got? Who do we got? Dansby Swanson. Wanting 6 years, $150 million to equate to $25 million a year. Does Dansby Swanson get $25 million? Does he? Doesn't he? Yeah, we know he's not going back to Atlanta. Atlanta already has a backup there ready to take over. I forgot his name. I saw it earlier. Atlanta fans, tell me what's. Yeah, he's not getting in Atlanta. Let's go down to the pitching. Look at Jacob deGrom. Grissom. Yes. Grissom is going to be your starter next year. I saw that earlier. Yes, Grissom. Jacob deGrom. The issue with deGrom, might be the best pitcher in baseball, but at 34 years old, can he continue his dominance, especially given his nagging injuries from a few years ago? Don't know. We'll see as time goes on. He's wanting a 3-year, $132 million contract, which equates to $44 million a year. I got to take a sip on that one. $44 million a year? The Angels have been on board, or has been rumored to already wanting deGrom and that money in LA or Anaheim. Anaheim Angels of LA, or whatever. You get it. Carlos Rodon just opted out for San Francisco. Also 34. No. Yeah. He wants a 5-year, $130 million contract, $26 million. Yeah. Justin Verlander opted out of a $25 million contract, and this is absurd what he wants. He wants a 2-year, $72 million contract, $36 million a year, and he'll retire after that. Not my words, his words. $36 million. The way he pitched last year, obviously, he might pitch again next year, but as he pitches that again the year after, I don't know. He might have a team option, player option. We'll see how that goes. The Mets are in trouble here. The Mets got a bunch of free agent pitchers. Okay? We're talking about DeGrom. We're talking about Bassett. We're talking about Taijuan Walker. All free agents. All did good for them. We're all free agents. One free agent who's going to come off the market sooner than later will be Wilson Contreras of the Cubs. Wilson Contreras will probably be more of a DH than a catcher moving forward. And speaking of catcher, Gary Sanchez will also be a free agent. So who pays Gary Sanchez? Who pays Wilson Contreras? This is the fun time of year. Who pays who? Baseball is usually a little bit slower. We all know basketball and football. The first 2 days, they started 2 days before the door opens. But not baseball. Baseball, they'll wait all winter long. And they'll still get paid. No, they'll wait till halfway through spring training and get their money. So, who are we missing here? There's a bunch of first basemen on the market. Not the drama we had last year. Remember? Not the drama we had last year. Contreras replacing Molina is great. That's interesting. First baseman drama we had last year, we had, Freeman going to LA, Olsen going to Atlanta, Rizzo going to the Yankees. This year, we got Jose Abreu, Chicago White Sox. And a great player to have. Anthony Rizzo again opts out. He will be a free agent. Does he go back to New York? Does somebody else want to sign him? And Josh Bell, who just went to the Padres, he won't get re-signed because they probably can't afford him. So his contract expires there. So all this, but wait, there's more. Japanese superstar, Cody Senya, whatever. Who it is? He's 30 years old, but he's a pitching machine. He's supposed to be the next Ohtani in pitching, not hitting. Who does he go to? Rumors have it the Yankees has the lead on that one. So we'll see how that goes. The Yankees just re-signed Luis Severino. Will pick up his option, so he's off the market. So you can see these are just what I gave you 15 names, not even. We're talking about 81. I'm not about to go through all that. Why? It's just too many numbers, too many players, too many names. But stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. This is not necessarily our year in review because I will give y'all that eventually, probably in a couple weeks. I'm going to wait till some free agents go and signs, and then I'll add that into my year in review. And I'm going to give y'all a big show to quite possibly end the baseball year. But that is my MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year managerial predictions. And this is where I'll leave you for this week. I will see you in a couple weeks. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, share. Even if you don't watch it live, share. I'm asking you guys to share. Catch us tomorrow. Tomorrow you can catch me watching Black Panther 2. Catch me Friday on the All Sports Matter podcast. As we discuss the happenings of the week. And if my intern wants to take me out, I appreciate that. That is the day. I am your host again, Amir Sharaz Ortiz, aka Papi Ortiz 02. It's been a pleasure.